So in the last video, I talked about how diversity of thought and what that means and its implications. So today I want to talk about diversity, but most importantly, what we need, something that goes beyond diversity. So I'm talking about the biases that we have. So having diversity just because, or accepting people just because they want to have diversity, even though they are less, or because they had different. This is a hard thing to articulate because there could be a lot of misinterpretations, but I'll do my best. But accepting people just because they are from a certain background or color or something, and not necessarily taking the best of that one, it's not right in a sense. But it's also right in a way that sometimes the people that they're accepting, even though they might not be the best qualified, which a lot of the times they are, is because they didn't have the same background or advantages, correct? So that's one thing. The other thing is that, which is the most interesting part of this, is that there's diversity that we're talking about, that because a lot of the times but other people have institutions, for instance, have accepted people just because of diversity, even though they might not be the best qualified, or at least that's the perception, right? However, this is where it gets fascinating. A lot of the times, these people that are supposedly accepted because of diversity are actually more qualified than the people that were not accepted as diversity. Again, don't get confused about this. Two different things. Sometimes people get accepted because of diversity, and sometimes they might not be qualified. I don't know where that happens or how it happens, but a lot of the times these people are actually more qualified or equally qualified. However, the other people that were not accepted as qualified have the perception that the other people that were supposed to be accepted because of diversity are less. And that goes beyond even our consciousness. That's something that is subconscious that's our biases. And that happens often in institutions, and that is what we need to be talking about right now, is that sure, this is also happening because sometimes we didn't have the best backgrounds, but there are some people who didn't have the backgrounds, who didn't have anything. However, they made it, they're more qualified. However, there are certain biases that are not allowing people to progress and to be better and to get there, because of the biases, because of the already existing biases. How do we solve this? It's a hard question. It's not simple to answer, because this is something that I've been thinking a lot about, because a lot of the question about race, a lot of the question about diversity, equality, it comes down to subconscious biases that we have in our hands, and there's been many studies that have proven this, how we have these biases. So it's a hard question to answer, it's a hard question to think about, because it can get messy. I guess many people don't want us to answer that question, but it's something that we need to discover and we need to answer, because our world, our society needs the contribution of different perspectives and different. We need is equality, because equality is just because just for the sake of equality, but we need equality because it's what good. It is what is good for all of us. Those who are equal or those who are not equal yet. Point is that we need to be equal, all of us, at the end. Confusing, but it's something that we need to think about. Thank you so much.